CPA YouTube channel. I'm Dennis. Today we're going to discuss the complicated tax challenges that professional athletes face when competing across borders, focusing particularly on Canada and the United States. So whether you're a Canadian athlete playing in the US or an American athlete competing in Canada, understanding these tax issues is crucial. Let's start with residency. This is a key factor in determining your tax obligations. This is no different from a normal or an ordinary tax payer. If you are spending a significant time in the U.S., you're considered a U.S. tax resident, or if you're a U.S. citizen, you're subject to U.S. tax filings on your worldwide income, not just the income earned in the U.S. Conversely, if you are resident in Canada, and your residential ties are stronger in Canada, then you're going to be facing residency-based tax obligations in Canada, reporting your worldwide income in Canada. So step number one will be to determine your residency, and of course if you move during the year, which is common for a professional athlete, you're usually going to be, or it's very possible that you could be a part-time or part-year tax resident of both countries. So you're in the US for part of the year and then you move to Canada, so you're a part-year tax resident in the US and then a part-year tax resident in Canada. That's the first thing to deal with. The second thing to deal with is what we call Jock taxes. So Jock taxes are imposed by US states on income earned within their borders. For example, a professional athlete, ordinarily resident in Colorado, for example, goes to play a game in California, that athlete will be subject to special California state taxes on professionals and athletes earning income in that state. And they will have to report this on a specific form in California and pay tax on the income earned from that game, regardless of where they reside. In contrast, Canada and Canadian cities and Canadian provinces don't typically have a Jock tax system. However, U.S. athletes who travel to Canada for games and events are still required to pay Canadian tax on a federal level on any income they earn in Canada. There is an important exemption under the Canada-U.S. tax treaty that stipulates that if you are a resident of one country and you earn activity or earn income from athletic activity or other professional activity in the other country, if the annual income is less than $15,000, then you're exempt from paying tax to the other country. Of course, most professional athletes would typically fall or come above that amount. We want to talk about some double taxation and withholding rules. So both Canada and the U.S. may tax the same income. For example, you're a U.S. Resident or citizen living in the U.S., but you go and play a game up in Canada. Canada will tax that income, but the U.S. will also be taxing your worldwide income. So here the Canada-U.S. tax treaty provides some relief. If you are a Canadian athlete earning income in the U.S. or vice versa, you can generally claim a foreign tax credit on the tax return to cancel out your double taxation. However, in both Canada and the U.S., athletes who are non-resident aliens, so a Canadian athlete playing in the U.S. or a U.S. athlete playing in Canada, have to navigate some specific withholding rules. So you're a non-resident athlete from Canada, you're performing in the U.S., any payments made to you are subject to withholding, often at a fairly high rate. Now you can use a central withholding agreement. You have to apply for this from the IRS. It allows for withholding based on your net income rather than your gross, so that's going to reduce the amount withheld. Same thing up in Canada. But in Canada there's a 15% withholding on fees paid to non-resident athletes for services provided in Canada. And here again, you can apply for a waiver or a reduction if you think your actual liability will be less than 15%. Another thing to think about is additional income streams. Athletes often earn endorsement fees, speaking fees, appearance fees. These types of income are often handled as self-employed business income, so they're going to be taxed based on the athlete's residency. And taxed basically as a business. This falls under business rules. There are provisions in the tax treaty for how to handle this as you're going from one country to the other country, but it is treated somewhat differently because it's not Jock tax. How you do need to watch out. Some cities and states in the U.S. will consider speaking fees under the same category as athletic income. In conclusion, navigating the tax landscape as a professional athlete is incredibly complex. Many athletes travel broadly throughout Canada and the U.S. and honestly into other countries as well. So it's crucial to work with a CPA who specializes in cross-border tax issues. It's crucial to work with a CPA who can understand residency rules, withholding rules, tax treaties, and how that all interacts. If you need assistance or you have any other questions, you can reach out to us at Goossen CPA or comment below. We are here to help you manage your tax obligations and maximize your earnings. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more insights on cross-border taxation. See you next time.